Right, hello mate, it's back on the ramp. Right, this front panel, just having a look underneath. Rusty on there, not sure if these eye bits, you see the spot welds, if they've been added in after or something. That bit up there has had some bits added. Bit rusty round there. If you look at that seam edge, it's thicker there, and you can sort of trace. You probably can't see it on there, it's a bit uneven, so I think it might have been a bit welded on the outside maybe, and it's been filled over. That looks a bit shit up there, a bit shit up the top. The wing, that left hand front wing actually looks alright. It looks pretty new. I don't know if Andrew put it on, maybe I'll give him a ring and ask him, but that does look like a new wing. Right hand side of the valance, it's all shit, look, see what I mean, there's a bit been added on there, filled in, bit of the light back's all crap, that wing's been welded up and welded up around the front of the corner, so the right hand wing is definitely shit, and that's all shit at the bottom, so we'll ditch that. This might be covering obscenities, that patch under there. Anyway, so I reckon the lights are shit, so I think just replace the complete front panel and the right hand wing and the bonnet. I'll give you a call later. Again, see this right hand sill, it's had a bit of filler in the corner there, you can see like the sort of the way the light goes. Shadowiness on there. Yeah, it's had a patch on the inside there. Trouble is, you could be opening a can of fucking worms, but I know it's one of those things, you got to get it done. The left hand side doesn't look too bad, but corners of the seals don't look, sorry, the rear don't look too bad. That rear valance is a bit crappy on there. Untidy around a jacking point round there. So yeah, you're putting the money into it. I think we'll redo that. I think it's the rear spring hanger that's a bit swollen up a bit, but it's all right. I think by the time it gets out of California, glad of the drier climate, it'll be alright. Just another quick video, my battery's running low. I just looked on this front left wing that I said to leave on. The top edge is a bit sort of crummy under there. And the back edge fit is a bit odd. A bit tight there, but anyway, it's a bit loose out there, a bit tight there. Yeah, I think, you know, because it's yours now, I think we'll just take both wings off and do it. Do all front panel, both wings, bonnet. Alright, just a quick video. This is an early Sceptre. Sending it over to America for a customer, but some of the wings aren't really as good as they could be, and the front panel's not that great, so I don't like sending stuff over there that's rusty. So gonna change the bonnet, the wings, the front panel, and do whatever else it needs. Right, taking the bonnet off, I'm gonna take these wings off. See the front valance, although it doesn't look too bad from there, behind you can see it's a patchwork of previous repairs. That wing's bad on the top, so that wing's going to be scrap. This wing is actually a reasonable wing, but they're going to take it off anyway. But you can see there's funny repairs behind there. Up there, etc. So I'm going to take it off, but it looks like it's been wax oiled from new with this heavy underseal. So we'll see what's under that. You can see these spot welds tack welds holding that wing on. We'll get all them off. Alright, just cut down the front edge. You can see these, it's been previous repairs. That whole corner is a bit flexible, so there's only a few little tack welds in here and there. That's not attached to anything, and then it'll be the top edge. That gap's quite tight. And right, cut this wing off. I've left that lip on because I'm just going to cut the wing off that, preserve that. This side has already been done. The wing was replaced once, so I've tidied that edge up a bit. Don't know what to do yet. I'll clean it up and see. But the A-posts are pretty good. It's actually a pretty sound car, apart from the panels. So I'll carry on and cut the front panel off as well. Right, just cutting it off of itself so that I can fit that one on. Keeping these and keeping the bottom panel under the rad. You can sort of see from that where the little spot welds and these have actually look like they've been brazed on. And you pick these up, so I'm left with a clean flange at the end. You just got to unpick it all carefully. The matters that goes on. I've done it so that you can see it on the camera. I can see where the spot welds are in the paint, but you can see these now. You just got to drill the little heads off and then pick off what's left of the metal. Same here, same a little bit underneath. Right, been unpicking this. The reason why I think that's brazed, if you look, this bottom bit is only attached at the back with little tack welds, and these are the remnants of old spot welds. Those are remnants of old spot welds. So I think this is actually this front panel has been replaced on this car before. Right, see, just drilled the spot welds out along that wing, on that bit at the front. These where they were brazed, I've got a feeling this wasn't the original. They don't drill out very well, so you sort of cut the bits in between, and then you can pick the bits off in between like that, obviously being careful that you don't go through the bit underneath. And then with these bits, you just whittle them down like that. You can bend them up, cut the little ears off, and then you're just left with a little brassy stub, which you just buzz off with a flat disc. Right, I was just putting this up in the air to clean that off, and I thought I'd cut this tape off, and someone's kept a spare key behind here. Interesting. You used to get the old magnetic ones that go underneath, so interesting. Right, we cut the rear valance off. That bit behind there is all right. I'll tidy up the end bits. This bit needs a bit of repair, so we'll do that. Right, hello mate. Bit of speckling in there. couple of tiny holes at the bottom of there. You could probably just get away with like filling them in, but it is actually pretty sound. That chunk of filler fell out the corner, so I've taken the arch bits off. Got the rear valance off. Again, little hole under there, so I've taken that one off. This side, again, similar. There's a hole underneath there as well. Needs like a bit welding in the bottom of there, I think, both sides. But again, I was surprised. There's only a couple of tiny holes in there. And a bit of shit at the front. However, the underneath, that's a bit crap. I've cleaned the stuff off there. There's a hole in there, hole there, hole there, hole there. Get under the handbrake, another hole. Another hole and a hole and a hole. Right, I might have forgotten to do a few videos in between just because I've been busy and I can't remember what I've done or not done. Anyway, so, God, I say anyway a lot, don't I? Bonnet's on. I copied the old gap pretty much from where the old one was to get that one square. Place these wings on. You need to get this gap as good as possible and then do the bonnet gap. The front you can beat about and make it go wherever you want at the end. So this one will go in a bit more. Just lift the bonnet up, chap. But that edge is crappy, so I'm going to weld another bit on the top of there. That will come in a bit, and that sits all right when you squeeze it in. This side, it won't move in. It moves in the middle. Oh, you can't really see it there. But anyway, so I need to take this lump off, and then this part of the wing can go that way a little bit more, because this gap's like massive. Right, cut a little slot in it, but I think I'll take what's left of that blob off the corner. Right, there we go, we've cut through all of that, so the whole blob out of the corner. That's when you got to weld stuff like that, because you get sparks in there and all of a sudden you set fire to the interior. Right, LMA, quick video, because we keep crossing paths. Welded these bits up. I've just put a little bit of filler on there, and I've painted it because I wanted to get this painted with a coat of that decent epoxy primer. These have been welded through the floor at the top. I did try and squeeze the floor down so that there was minimal gap, but the floor was a bit distorted. Like you can see, it's sort of even there, but there's a little tiny gap there. That one's come out looking quite tidy. It's something, I don't know if you can probably seam seal around this at your leisure. I can brush some seam seal around it and stuff. That's all painted. I mean, I painted it to try and get the paint in the nooks and crannies and stuff, and just, it was in case I had to roll it outside and swap stuff round. Now we got a bit more time. Welded that last bit on the side today. That needs a skimmer filler. I mean, a lot of this needs really doing in the body shop. I'll try and just nib off these blobby welds and bits and pieces. That's just a bit of fucking smoke on there. Don't worry about that. Again, like that under the light, that'll come off. It's where the paint was burning on top. Anyway, that's just it's not had any filler on it. It's just painted it while I had the paint. And again, there's a bit of filler over the top of there. A couple of tiny holes in here. I didn't weld them up. I just tapped them in and put a bit of filler on it, but that'll be fine. That hole at the end I welded up. That is just excess filler. I'll try and get the wings on and stuff tomorrow. Right, this side's tatting, so we're just going to trace this side to get the sort of rough shape on a little slither, and then weld that either side, one there, one there. Turn that into something tidy again. Right, we've robbed these little fillets off the old wings because these new ones don't come with them. Got to dress these up and then tack them on in the right place. Welded a nice clean bit along there. Well, mate, yeah, the only thing I can think of to do, mate, on this is a bit tight. It's just to cut a tiny slit in there and knock that over. This looks like it might have been damaged in the past because it's got a tiny hole in there. I don't know if that's, I don't know whether it's been scraped off where and that's been rusty or something. Anyway. Okay, I've been busy doing a couple of jobs at once, so although this is 2 seconds after, a few days have gone past since I last did it. Anyway, I joined that bit on the top. I can't remember what I did the other day. Realign the bonnet, check the bonnet gap, put the fillet behind the wing. So line these up at the top to get that gap right and that gap right. Again, it was a factory car thrown together, so they were never brilliant at gaps anyway. There's no reason to try and get them as straight as you can. So you get that gap right, then get the bonnet one. I've welded these in there. I'm just running up here before I remember just to do a quick video of it. And then again, you can see this is still yet to be done. So you just basically weld a couple, keep shutting the bonnet, check your gaps all right, weld a few more, etc, etc. Then when I've done that, this is all still loose at the bottom edge. I'll tidy that up, put the grill in the front, make sure it looks presentable, and then you can beat it about and put it where you want it. That was it. I was lining up the block as well. This is one of the Iranian bonnets. So I don't know if these are not really in a different position, but it didn't quite line up, so I had to sort of move that bracket over, elongate the holes in the bracket, and move the holes in the front. So it's slightly off centre. Right, nearly there. So I welded up the edges, bit on the front. Squeeze this up and just got to tack around that front edge. You can see inside there where I pre-drilled the valance. So when you got this, you can sort of manipulate this to wherever you want it, clamp it, and then just weld it. Drill that side because you can get the torch in that way. Torch from the welder, I mean, obviously behind there, but there's not really enough room to get it behind the wing, so weld it from that side anyway. Same the other side, put a row across there, and I'll just put a couple of bits on the bottom. This car looked like it had another valance on it from before, So you see, I've cleaned up the edges a bit. Just bare metal on the bottom of there, and I'll show you a bit that a bit later. And down the edge, just got a blob in the corner to try and take off. Couple of welds on the bottom. The inside edge, it's got these fillets and they never really sort of match very well from the old wings to the new wings. So, but there's only a tack weld in there, a few welds. I mean, some of the Ford wings, they only have like bolts this size. They have like 2 at the bottom, 1 in the middle, 1 at the top, and a couple down there. So you don't need a lot. You can pull it about and feed it. If it's rigid enough, then it's fine. I mean, if you have an accident in a car like this, you're going to bash your brains out on the steering wheel anyway. There's no airbags. Right. This is the reason why you're supposed to trial fit everything in between. See, that gap down the edge is quite tight. I mean, it's a difficulty with finding the front panel. Is that I think the front panel should be over that way a little tiny bit. But the thing is, you can't alter where a lot of this is. It's not always that practical, but anyway, you have to just get over stuff like this. So consequently, this side, that wing looks a bit out. So even though I've got a couple of tack welds on this wing, we would undo it again and then get this and sort of push it out like that to make that better. So this is why you only tack weld stuff, but tack it in a position where you can tweak it off again. Do this one-handed, I'll get there. Right, so I'm just going to heat this up and knock the inside out, dress it round a little bit so that grill fits in. Well, just so you can see, this is a genuine Talbot wing. So is that General Roots wing. So we got that side looking pretty much right. That gap slightly over there at the bottom of the valance. That one fits in the corner. Bottom is slightly too wide, so I'm going to take a bit off that corner, weld it in the middle, and then kink this bottom over. Anyway, there we go. Tidy up. Right, quickly, to give the compressor in the background. Anyway, the welds look like that, and they look like that when you clean them up. Rub these bits down. Anyway, I was expecting to have it in paint today, but fucking always takes longer than you think. Right, got that side bit like that. If you compare it to the other ones in there, maybe a bit high. So whether it's, I'm not sure if it's the grill that's not straight. Yeah, there's a bigger gap underneath than there is. But I mean, you can beat this down or whatever. Yeah, see how it goes. Anyway, but that's I'll have paint on it tomorrow, so it'll be looking like a car. I just started sanding a bit of the wing off, so I'll get it back to bare metal again. It almost pains me to sand over this sticker. There's these little spots and stuff underneath the paint, so we got to take this all off, get these little shadowy bits out. Right, get it all the metal, get all the stuff out of the corner swage lines. Right, so there we go. Coat of epoxy primer, and then I'll fit it back up, and it'll be on the boat to America. New rear balance as well.